Hey guys, my name is Nova, this is Film Express, and today we're going to be talking about A.V. Rockwell's amazing directorial debut, 1001. I had heard whispers and murmurs about this movie for the past few months after it hit the festivals. Just from the hype that I had heard, I had expected a great film, but I did not expect for the rug to be completely pulled from under my feet the way that 1001 managed to do. As it currently stands, we're now at the beginning of May in 2023. 1001 is in the top 3 films I've seen in 2023 so far. It's a raw and powerful and beautiful film, and it's all anchored by a star-making performance by Teyana Taylor. This is a story crafted with the utmost heart and the utmost care, and it really screams like the work of a director who's been directing professionally at this level for years and years and years. The main attraction though is Teyana Taylor and her brilliant performance. I believe that by the end of the year, this is actually going to be in the running for one of the best acting performances of the year. If it was up to me, if I had a vote, I would put Teyana Taylor in the running for Best Actress without a doubt. In fact, if I really have to break it down, the acting by every single person in this movie was incredibly stellar. This is one of those things where if it was the Screen Actors Guild, please give this film the Best Ensemble Cast Award, because every single moving part was operating at a very high level. 1001 is a beautiful, decade-spanning tale about motherhood. It's a harsh exploration of gentrification. It's an indictment of the institution of foster care, and it's a fascinating character study about kinship and the bonds that hold us together. What really strikes me and what makes 1001 such a successful film, in my opinion, is that right from the first frame, there's so much personality on display. This film captures the Harlem of the era in such a realistic, gritty, and nuanced way. It's almost very docudrama-like. You're really pulled into this world, and it really is immersive, and that's really one thing that I need to commend this film for. And sure, yes, it takes place in Harlem over many decades, but this story is truly universal, and that's another thing that 1001 does so wonderfully. It's so universal and it's so relatable, and it's written from a place of experience. It feels like the writer who wrote these scenes wrote them from the heart, like they come directly from somebody's life. And sure, while I personally have not lived a life like the characters in this film, there are many moments between parent and child that have struck a chord with me, that brought me back to memories of my own childhood. What's really great about this film is that it is so nuanced in so many different ways, and it's incredibly grounded in a tangible reality, which is something I really look for in films. If I really have to break it down, like, I see elements of Barry Jenkins, I see elements of James Gray, I see elements of Sam Mendes as influences for the way this was directed and the way this story was brought to life. It makes for a classy, elegant, and focused style that really focuses on themes, and it never really tries to be overly melodramatic. In fact, you can almost say it like borders on Oscar bait because of the subject matter that it tackles and the emotions that it tackles everything with, but it never dives deep down that Oscar bait path. There are so many moments in this that are jam-packed with metaphors and symbolism and imagery that pops out of the screen. And you know what Martin Scorsese said about filmmakers these days? He said that a lot of filmmakers these days are not concerned with the actual imagery that is being presented on screen. A.V. Rockwell really challenges that, because there are moments in this where a shot means 5, 6, 7 different things, depending on how you look at it and depending on how you analyze it, or depending on how much you know about the story and the characters. There are some metaphors and some ideas here that are very subtle, and there are some, on the other hand, that are loud and they're less nuanced. It all makes for something that's very digestible and very palpable, and A.V. Rockwell is just proving to have a very strong creative voice, incredible inspirations and influences, and a strong directorial eye. From the hype itself, I knew I was going to get something very emotional. What I didn't expect was for the last 30 minutes of this film to hit me the way they did. This is a powerful film with a powerful destination, and the journey to that destination is incredibly emotional. The ending on paper is one of the strongest endings of the year so far. I'm not going to spoil too much, guys, but the last moments really took a turn that I did not expect, in a way that made for a very refreshing, daring, and bold film. But if I do have to kind of fault the film for anything, is that ending does feel a little bit rushed, and it kind of ends on a final shot that it may work for you, it may not, and that's just full transparency. Final shot I'm still kind of thinking about over and over again, wondering if it worked for me more than it didn't, but right now I'm kind of on the side of the fence where it didn't really work for me. But the journey until that final shot and the whole story and the characters and the arcs that they go through, I was fully invested from the first frame to the last. This is one of those films where, you know, it's so efficient and it's so tight that it almost ends too soon, and by the time it's over you almost kind of want to be back in that world, because I truly feel like they could have added another 10 or 15 minutes to give some of those heavier emotional moments a chance to breathe. But that's just me really nitpicking. Overall, I gave this film a 4 out of 5. This is an 8 out of 10 movie. It's a very solid film. And again, one of the strongest films of the year. I cannot recommend it enough. As far as one of 2023's best films and one of the strongest directorial debuts I've seen in a very long time, I urge you all to go check out 1001. This is one of those films where I actually really have high hopes for when it comes to award season, but I guess we'll find out. So guys, that's my review of 1001. My name is Nova. This is Film Express. Please like, please dislike if you guys didn't like the review, and please leave some comments. Let's talk about this movie. Have you seen 1001? What did you guys think? Did it hit you as hard as it hit me? Because this film really struck a chord with me. Until then, my name is Nova. This is Film Express, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.